Normally, I never like to read books that are abridged or condensed. I don't want anything cut out. I want to read the whole thing. But there are a few books that are of great literary merit that I would suggest reading in a shorter form. 100 Books You Must Read, number 86, 87, and 88, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, and War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. The Count of Monte Cristo is a story of revenge. A sailor, Edmond Dantes, is about to marry his sweetheart Mercedes when he is arrested and thrown into the Chateau d'If, an island prison. He languishes there for years, not knowing why he is imprisoned. Eventually, he is able to escape, find a fortune, and reinvent himself as the Count of Monte Cristo, then to take his revenge on those who betrayed him. His former friend Fernand, the sailor Danglars, and the prosecutor Villefort. Why would I recommend reading it in an abridged form? The beginning section moves swiftly, but the revenge just takes too long. We are told too many backstories, and the introduction of the story of two lovers, Valentine and Maximilian, is just tiresome and tedious. Read in abridged form, and you'll get all the action. Les Miserables is the powerful story of Jean Valjean, who spent almost 20 years in a French prison for stealing some bread to feed his starving family, and for trying to escape. On his release he is bitter, until he meets the Bishop of Digne, who treats him kindly like a brother, restores his faith in humanity and God, and causes him to turn his life to good. He becomes the mayor of a town, a factory owner, and is able to help many. He adopts the orphan Cosette, whose mother Fantine he was unable to help. We follow their lives as Cosette grows up and falls in love with Marius, through a revolution. All the while Valjean is being tracked by Javert, a conscientious policeman who wants to rearrest Valjean for breaking his parole. Why do I suggest you read a shorter edition of this powerful story? There are just too many digressions. The unabridged edition I first read opened with a 70-page description of the Bishop of Digne. The bishop is a pivotal character, but we really don't need to know that much about him. Nor do we need a 200-page history of the Battle of Waterloo. Read an abridged version, and you'll get to know all the many varied characters, the moving story, and the powerful message. War and Peace. The main characters are Pierre Bezukhov, an illegitimate son who eventually becomes a count, and Prince Andrei Bolkonsky, who both eventually are suitors for the hand of Natasha Rostov. As the lives of these three families unfold, so does Napoleon's invasion of Russia, the war of the title. Why read this famous book in an abridged form? Well, because it's just so long. It's a book you want to read at some point in your life, and there's a much better chance that that will happen if you read an abridged version. And now, just a little poetry to brighten your day. By William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.